If you are a natural introvert, go out of your way when learning game at first to talk to girls by themselves, right? Maybe favor day game over night game. Talk to girls that are sitting at a cafe by themselves, walking down the street by themselves, as opposed to in group environments, to start with, until you get comfortable with that. And then you can start going into easy group environments and desensitizing yourself to that and gradually building it up. When I first learned game, I first learned really structured game between the years 2002 to maybe 2005, the standard way that the top guys in game were opening was opinion openers. Hey, I need your opinion on something. And then you just get into a completely random topic, but it's just an excuse for getting the conversation started. So if you need to give yourself a contextual excuse and then make it man to woman later, that's kind of fine, right? There are less formulaic ways, right? One game that I play with students is I call I love and I hate. Just walk up and just start a sentence with I love or I hate. Like say you're at a flea market, be like, I hate that design. Like I can't take my eyes off, but I fucking hate it, right? That would be a way to start a conversation at a flea market, right? Or I love the fact that this used to be some 80-year-old had this in her attic and now we get to enjoy it, right? Some just contextual statement to start is completely fine. It doesn't have to be man to woman. At a bachata event, you both have the shared context of dancing, or a board game event, you both can look at a position and comment on it, right? At a flea market, you both are choosing a particular shopping style. You both have a cultural similarity. Make sense? And so you can lean on that a little bit if you want to, right? You notice at a flea market, someone has an interesting item, you're like, oh my God, where on earth did you find that, right? And then you have to make sure that you very quickly transition, and this is the thing with opinion openers too, you have to transition it off the opinion into something more personal. But if your next statement is more personal, right? So here, we'll play it. Oh my God, where on earth did you even find that thing?
Burning Man last month.
Oh, really? So you didn't buy it here. Your expression when saying that was so adorable. I literally don't even know what to do with you. I gotta go in a minute, but who are you? You seem interesting. Right? So I used this side thing, but I immediately commented on your reaction, and then I made it man to woman from there. Right? So the man to woman literally, or the personal, I guess, not even man to woman, the personal part came half a sentence in, but it was delayed enough for context. Right? And so that's great in those kind of shared environments. It's also good, say for example, if you had to do, say you're in New York, you have to do a set on a crowded subway. You walk straight up to a girl and you're like, you're hot, I want to talk to you. And the whole subway car is looking. May not be a problem for you, but she might be nervous. But if instead you made a random comment about something, she responded, like, yeah, that was a really cute response. You seem cool, what's your name? Right? Now, because literally the first sentence out of your mouth wasn't hitting on her, it's completely socially acceptable. It feels like it just happened. So you literally only need to delay it one sentence to give it that context. But if you want to do that, you absolutely can. And in any environment, there is a shared context or shared understanding. On a subway, you're both on the subway. It may not be any deeper than that, but there is something you can comment on. Man, it is so crowded on here today. I'm glad I ended up next to you and not some smelly guy over there. No offense to the smelly guy. I hope you didn't hear me. Shh. Anyway, you have a good sense of humor. What's your name? Right? And now you're in. That makes sense? Yeah. But you can rely on that if you want to. If you want to ignore the fact that it's a cold approach and beat around the bush for half a sentence. I'm probably, in a lot of ways, naturally one of the most introverted people ever. I think I took an introversion extroversion test way back in college, and I was probably 75% introvert leaning or something like that. So pretty, if 50-50 is the average, 75 is standard deviations away from the average. It's pretty far up. And then I took another one after years of being a dating coach, and I was still slightly introvert, but it was more 55-45, right? So my actual inclination, actual behavioral reality answers to things changed from being super introverted to being close to ambivert, right? So number one, you don't have to be an introvert fully if you don't want to. And introvert, by the way, does not mean that you're shy in social context. It does not mean that. What it means is that extroverts gain energy from group social interactions. Introverts usually lose energy or feel like that takes energy from them, group social interactions. But often one-on-one social interactions are quite good for an introvert and they actually give energy for you. If you are a natural introvert, go out of your way when learning game at first to talk to girls by themselves, right? Maybe favor day game over night game. Talk to girls that are sitting at a cafe by themselves, walking down the street by themselves, as opposed to in group environments, to start with, until you get comfortable with that. And then you can start going into easy group environments and desensitizing yourself to that and gradually building it up. Does that make sense? The nice thing about game is that like you can get so many reps of this so quickly that you don't have to like make these huge leaps, right? You can do a lot of reps and get comfortable with scenario A and then go to scenario A plus 0.5 and then A plus 1 to A plus, you know what I mean? You can keep increasing the degree of difficulty very, very gradually. And we're all young enough here that we will get good very, very fast. Even if you're in your 50s, I promise you can get all the reps you need to be good at game within a year, right?
Thanks for making me old.
Yes? Huh?
Thanks for making me old.
I didn't make you old. Life made you old. But the point I'm saying is you're still young, right? You're still young within your scope. I've had guys well into their late 60s who crush this, right? So, but a lot of you guys are like, I'm looking around, a lot of you guys are like 20s and 30s and stuff like that. So you guys are even younger, right? But the point is like, you can get a lot of reps quickly. Just get the reps that are useful to you and then just keep pushing the comfort zone just a little bit. Little by little by little. But don't think of yourself as an introvert. Think of yourself as a cool guy who prefers to talk with the few people I really like and not the general masses, right? Reframe that in your head as more of a positive thing and not that like I can't talk to groups. I prefer talking to individuals, right? Changing that outlook will help you a lot, and then just getting a lot of reps will help you a ton. The way that I actually learned to do cold approach, it was kind of accidental, to be honest. So the way that I got into game, there were two ways actually. One was I took a class trip to Spain, and being there, I was of the students on that trip, I spoke better Spanish than everybody else. And so when someone needed to go ask directions or go figure something out, I was the appointed person, and so that forced me to go talk to them. And then when the cute girl was seen, all the other guys took the excuse to be like, oh, you have to be the one to go talk to her because you speak better Spanish. And so I kind of had it put on me to do it. And I did a few cold approaches, and I got very lucky. I think because I was in vacation mode, because the Spanish thing was kind of fun for me. I got some phone numbers early on. They didn't even go anywhere, but I felt like a superhero, right? So that was step one. That was when I was about 17. And then when I was about 18, I went on my college visits to go decide where I was going to go to school. And I went on a trip. My mom took me on the trip, right? So we're like traveling around with my mom. And so I'm sitting here with this like dilemma of like, how do I find out if I like this school or not? I can walk around the campus with my mom, which is fucking not happening. No, thank you. I can go on some like, guided campus tour that I know is completely bullshit and like propagandist and not going to teach me anything real. Or I can like walk around and try and figure out if I like the campus. I'm just going to walk around, right? And so I'm walking around randomly. I'm like, okay, cool. I can look at buildings, but that doesn't tell me anything. So I'm like, I guess I need to like ask people things, right? So I go ask, hey, I'm a prospective student. What do you know about, like, do you like it here? Can I talk to you for a minute about the school? And I realized that with that context, we talked about context, right? With that context, I can ask that question to a hot girl just as easily as I can ask it to anybody else. And that just seemed way more fun to me when I'm walking around and I'm seeing all these hot girls. So basically what I did, I went around for, I think I saw like maybe eight schools or something like that. I went around for basically a week where all I was doing was walking around a campus and walking up and finding the girls that were hot enough I wanted to talk to them and asking them if they tell me about the school or what's going on, that kind of stuff. And girls are really friendly to a prospective student. And so they'd be like, yeah, here, come meet my friends. Or yeah, let's sit down, let's have lunch, I'll talk to you. Or hey, come back to my dorm room, a bunch of my friends are hanging out, you can whatever. Or, hey, there's a party tonight, come out. I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. And so then when I went to actual college, I was no longer prospective. I could no longer be like, so I'm thinking about joining the college. I couldn't do that anymore. But my whole experience of being at college and my whole basis for choosing a college was around walking around and talking to cute girls. So I'm like, this is the only thing I know how to do in college, so I just do it. And so I started just asking them how their day was going and asking what class they were going to and just starting conversations. Right? And so I kind of just fell into it because I was lucky enough that I got these really soft landings. Right? I got the soft landing of like, I'd go talk to a girl in Spanish. She wouldn't understand my Spanish opener, but would reopen me in English, and then I could talk to her on my like class trip to Spain. Or I had this very easy in of I'm a prospective student, and so I got into conversations easily. And so I just developed the habit by accident, and I'm like, well, it clearly works, so why would I stop now? And then I got the second stroke of luck was I'm into comedy. I like jokes. I like funny shit. I like turns of phrases. And so I was in my dorm room on the internet looking up like funny jokes because I was like, whatever, killing time instead of doing homework. And then I found a site that said like funny jokes and pickup lines. And I saw some of the cheesy pickup lines. And I'm like, those are funny. And so then I looked up funny pickup lines, or I think I just looked up pickup lines. And then I found a pickup forum where people were discussing the ideas. And so now I'd been walking around campus, like trying to have conversations with people. And I found a pickup forum teaching me that. And then I kind of put 2 and 2 together. And then here I am 25 years later. All right, so that's how it happened for me, if that answers your question. But the short answer would be like gradual steps. Right, just get a little bit of a slightly better behavior and then build on it and build on it and build on it.